Good morning, guys. This is Melissa again. I haven't been on here in a while. Been asked by several people to do another hair tutorial. I haven't done one since my hair's been a little bit shorter. I cut it about a year ago to this length that I have now, which I absolutely love. And I'm just going to show you how I curl my hair. I always start with pulling my bangs up a little bit, just about an inch section back, just to get it up out of my way, because this piece hangs in my eyes if I don't. That's what I do the very last. So I'm going to start back behind my part here. You're going to need some duckbill clips, which you can pick up at Sally's, or I got these at Joann's. And you can use any hairspray, but I prefer Masterpiece, which I've tried several hairsprays, and this is the very favorite one I've ever tried. It's very, very good hairspray. A little bit more, it's worth it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start back behind the front part of my hair. I'm going to start on the crown, and I just have to always tell people, envision a mohawk all the way back is what you're going to be doing. I'm just going to take about an inch back and the width of my curling iron back. And my curling iron is a 1.25 inch size iron, and I set it on 350, no higher. Most people they don't need any more than 350 on normal Caucasian hair. My rule of thumb is, if you're using a hot tool on your hair and your hair is smoking, it is too hot. So you see what I did there. I curled that and kept it in the roll, and we're just going to pin these down. This is going to allow the same effect like as a hot rollers, because that's going to allow the curl to stay close to the head as it's cooling off, so it's going to give the hair more lift and it's going to stay better. And each one of these I just barely spray with a little bit of hairspray, and it just helps set the curl and kind of keeps the fuzz tamed. So even on 350, my hair doesn't take a long time, maybe 8 to 10 seconds. And we're just going to take all these curls, I call it in the crown area of my head, all these from like here all the way down. We're gonna pin those, because that's where you need your fullness and your volume. If you like big hair like I do, that's where you want it to stay fullest. So, and I'm going to continue with these curls all the way down the back of my head, about probably 2 more. I'm going to probably pin after this one, but we're just going to take these straight down. Oops, flat iron just now. These don't have to be real precise or neat or anything like that, just as long as they're not too much hair in one section. You can just kind of feel, after you've done it a while, you can kind of feel how much hair you've got back there. And again, everything in this section just goes straight down, straight back and down. When I get to the sides, it's going to be a little bit different. Keeping everything in the roll that you've taken it out of the curling iron. And I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to end up right above, probably about an inch above my occipital bone, which is the bone on the back of your head that sticks out. Now it's real important, if you guys have any kind of natural curl, if you want this look, it's real important to smooth it out beforehand. if you don't, it's just going to end up really funky, and just the wave is not going to lay pretty with the curl, especially towards the scalp. I know it's a little extra work, but it's worth it. I'll show you what the back looks like so far. Just a bunch of rolls. Now these down here I'm just going to leave hanging. You'll see why in a minute. Okay, now I'm going to the sides, and I like to do a diagonal right there at that top part. And I take these up, like not directly up, but not directly back either, kind of at an angle. Start at the scalp as much as you can, and then just smooth it all the way up. Make sure you're not gonna get those little fish hook ends. Make sure you smooth those ends all the way through to the end of your curling iron. And if you feel like you're gonna do that, just kind of loosen up your thing here and just bend it around so those ends can be nice and smooth down there. And I'm gonna bend that up. Same thing over here. Now this is the side I always have my natural wave that always gives me fits right there. Sometimes, just depends. Sometimes I would have to take a flat iron to that if I've slept on it and it's really causing me fits right there. Today I don't think I'm going to have to. Same idea, diagonal part. Smooth it all the way up. Hold it back. Make sure your ends are nice and smooth into the iron. And pull it up. Okay. Actually, I want that a little tighter. Okay, so this is just, like I said, this is this little halo area. Everything else I'm going to curl, but I'm not going to pin. So I usually just feel like the middle of the back of my head, and I just part it down the center, and I'll bring things forward. And from here, I don't have any specific way that I curl it. I do a diagonal instead of an up or down, because when the hair falls, it doesn't fall back into the curl. I know you've seen girls that's had that, and this is awful to say this, but it reminds me of dog turds on your head. And the dog turd look is just not pretty. So some of these will go up, some of these will go back, some of these will go forward. And the only thing I usually do is the bottom of the sides here, these very front ones will come forward, and these up here go back. And it just seems that my hair does better that way. You don't have to do yours that way, but it just seems like I do better with mine that way. So this is where my hair is usually the curliest, is the bottom and the back. So I have to kind of make sure that I haven't slept on it funky and it's not waving towards my scalp. And I usually try to take the curling iron as close as I can to get that smooth.